Do not give up. Not today. Not now. Not when you are this close. I need you to hear those words before you take one more step in the direction you have been considering. Before the decision you have been quietly making in the back of your mind becomes the decision you actually make. Before you close a door that I have been working to open from the other side, I need you to stop and hear me, because what I am about to say is the reason I interrupted your day with this specific word at this specific moment. I see you right now. I see where you are. Not just physically. I see the place you are in on the inside. The place that has grown quieter than it used to be. The place where the prayers are shorter now, because the long ones started to feel like they were going nowhere. The place where the hope you used to carry so openly has been folded up and put somewhere you do not visit as often. Not because you stopped believing entirely, but because believing fully started to hurt more than believing quietly. I see the person who has been doing the right things for a long time without seeing the right results. The person who has kept showing up to faith, to prayer, to trust through season after season of silence. The person who is tired, not lazy, not faithless, tired. The deep kind. The kind that comes from genuinely trying and genuinely waiting and genuinely choosing me over and over while the evidence has not yet caught up with the promise. That person is you, and I am not here to give you another list of things to do. I am here to say one thing clearly from the mouth of the God who made you and who knows exactly where you are standing right now. Do not give up, because your breakthrough is closer than you think. Stay with me. What I am about to tell you is the reason this word found you today, and it is the reason you cannot afford to walk away from this moment unchanged. My beloved child, I have been watching you, not from a distance, not with the detached attention of someone observing from far away. I have been right there, in the room with you, in the silence with you, in the middle of the moments you thought no one else could see. I saw the exact moment the hope started to fade. Not the dramatic moment, the quiet one. The ordinary Tuesday when you checked again and nothing had changed. The morning you woke up and realized the first thing your mind reached for was no longer expectation, but the bracing for another day of the same. I saw the way something in your chest settled differently in that moment. Not collapse, not despair, just a quiet, exhausted adjustment. The kind that says, maybe this is just how it is. I saw that moment. I was there in it, and I did not look away. I heard the prayers you stopped praying, the specific ones, the ones you used to bring to me with such detail, such hope, such confidence that I was listening and moving and preparing the answer. The ones that gradually shortened, the ones that eventually became more silence than words, not because you stopped believing, but because the words started to feel like they were bouncing off the ceiling and you ran out of new ways to say the same thing. I heard every version of that prayer. I heard the ones that made it into words and the ones that never got further than the ache in your chest. I heard them all. I know the thing you have not said out loud, not to anyone, not even fully to me. The thing that lives in the honest part of yourself that you only visit late at night when the defenses are down. The question that asks, what if it is not coming? What if I have been waiting for something that was never meant for me? What if I misread the promise? What if I have been trusting in the wrong direction and the silence has been the answer all along? I know that question. I have heard it forming in you for longer than you realize. And today, I am answering it. I was there in the car the day you drove in silence, because you had run out of worship songs that felt honest. I was there on the night you sat with your Bible open and could not make yourself read it because the words felt far away from the life you were actually living. I was there on the morning you almost did not pray, and then did, briefly, out of habit more than faith, and felt nothing, and wondered if that meant something was wrong with you. I was there in all of it, not watching from outside, present in the middle of it, closer than you knew. I saw you choose, again and again, to hold on, not with triumphant faith, but with the quiet, stubborn, worn-down faith of someone who has run out of alternatives. The faith that says, I do not feel it, I do not see it, I do not understand it, but I am not ready to let go yet. I saw every time you made that choice, and I want you to know, that choice, made quietly in the exhaustion, without fanfare or feeling. That is one of the most powerful forms of faith I have ever witnessed. You wondered if the waiting meant you had done something wrong. You wondered if the silence was a verdict rather than a pause. You wondered if the people whose prayers seemed to get answered faster were doing something differently, had a different kind of faith, a cleaner heart, a more direct line. You wondered, in the quiet places, whether you were the kind of person breakthroughs happened for, or whether you were the kind of person who waited and watched while they happened for everyone else. But I tell you now, none of that was true. Not one word of it. You are not forgotten. You have never been forgotten. I have not missed a single day of your waiting. Not the days you held on with confidence, and not the days you held on by a thread. Not the mornings that felt possible, and not the nights that felt impossible. I was there in all of it. Every single one. You are not alone. Not for a moment. Not for a breath. Type, I will not give up in the comments right now. If this word is landing in the place it was meant to land, and you are not ready to walk away from what God has been preparing for you, there is something I must tell you now. Something that cannot wait. Something that is the entire reason this message found you at this exact moment, and not a day later. Before I tell you how close the breakthrough is, I need to tell you something about who you are. Because the person standing on the edge of giving up needs to know who they actually are before they make the decision that could change everything. You are not built to quit. That is not an encouragement. That is a fact about your design. Before I formed you, I knew you. I saw the full arc of your story, every chapter, including this one, and I chose you for this specific journey. Not because it would be easy, not because the waiting would be short, but because I saw in you something that could carry what this season requires, and come out the other side of it with something that cannot be built any other way. The faith that has been formed in you through this waiting is not ordinary faith. It is not the kind that was built in easy seasons and comfortable circumstances. It is the kind built in the fire, the kind that has been tested and has not shattered, bent, and has not broken, stretched beyond what seemed possible and has not snapped. That kind of faith does not happen by accident. It is the result of exactly what you have been walking through, and it is the foundation of everything I am about to build in your life. Pay attention, because this is the part the enemy does not want you to hear. You are not too late. You are not too tired. You are not too far down the road of disappointment to receive what is still coming. Not because the circumstances look promising. They may not. Not because the evidence supports the promise. It may not yet. But because I am the God who keeps every word I have spoken, who does not revise my plans when the timeline gets long, who does not give up on what I started just because the person I chose for it is having a hard day. I chose you for this breakthrough before the breakthrough existed. I prepared you for this moment before the moment arrived. And the person who has been walking through this waiting season, tired, honest, still reaching for me even when reaching felt pointless, is exactly the person I designed for what comes next. Not despite the waiting, because of it. From every soul on this earth reaching out to me today, I specifically place this word in your path. Not because the algorithm selected it, because I did. I know your name, I know your story, I know exactly which day of the waiting you are on. And I know what is 3 steps ahead of you that you cannot yet see. And what I see from here is worth everything you have walked through to get to this point. I am your strength when yours has run down to almost nothing. I am your hope when yours has been worn thin by seasons of silence. I am your faithful God who has not changed his mind about you. Not on the hard days, not in the long silences, not in the moments you were least sure I was still there. I am the God who sees the end from the beginning. And from where I stand, your story does not end here. You were worth every day of the preparation. And still, you are. This is not the moment to drift away. What I am about to say next is the part that will answer the question you stopped letting yourself ask. Now, I need to tell you what has been happening in the unseen places. Because you deserve to understand why this season has felt the way it has, and why the pressure has been heaviest exactly when you are closest to what I prepared. There is a war happening around your life. Not a metaphor, a real, active, strategic war. And the enemy's primary tactic in this particular season has not been a dramatic attack. It has been something quieter, more patient, and far more targeted. He has been working to make you give up right before the breakthrough arrives. He understands the timing better than you do. He can see the proximity of what I have been building. And what he knows, what he has always known, is that the best time to get someone to stop is when they are exhausted, when the evidence is still delayed, when the faith has been stretched for so long it feels thin. He does not need to destroy you. He only needs to make you stop, one step before the door opens. That is what this pressure has been. That is why the last stretch of this season has felt heavier than the beginning. That is why the temptation to give up arrived with such force in recent days, because the enemy can see what you cannot yet see, and what is coming toward you has made him desperate. He tried to use the silence against you, to reframe my patience as my absence, my preparation as my abandonment, my precision as my indifference. He tried to take the unanswered prayer and turn it into evidence of a closed heaven. He tried to make the delay feel permanent, as if what had not happened yet could never happen now. He tried to use comparison to exhaust you, to keep your eyes on the ones who seem to receive faster, to make the gap between their answered prayers and your waiting feel like proof of your unworthiness. He arranged the evidence carefully. He showed you what others received and hid from you what they walked through to receive it. He made the distance look like judgment when it was actually preparation. He tried to make the exhaustion feel like a sign, as if the tiredness you feel is your spirit telling you to stop, when in reality it is simply the cost of a long obedience that is about to be honored. He took the natural wear of a long season and tried to make it feel like a message from heaven. It was not a message from heaven. It was the expected weight of someone who has been faithful for a very long time. And he tried, more than anything, to make this moment feel like every other moment. Just another day, just another video, just another encouragement that sounds good but changes nothing. He tried to make you scroll past this or let it play in the background while you do something else, because he knows what happens in the heart of someone who stops, truly stops, and hears what I am about to say. He knows that the day you fully receive this word is the day his strategy against your life loses its power. But here is what he did not calculate. He did not calculate that I would reach you here. He did not calculate that the same exhaustion he tried to use to push you toward giving up would also be the thing that made you honest enough to hear me. He did not calculate that you would still be here, still watching, still listening, still in the conversation, because he expected you to have stopped long before now. He misread your staying power. He thought the weight of the waiting would have broken you. But there is something in you that has refused to be broken, something quiet and persistent, and rooted deeper than he could reach, and that something is not your strength. It is mine, working in you, and it has been keeping you in this race long enough to reach this moment. Now hear the truth about where you are. The walls of Jericho did not fall on the first day. They did not fall on the third day. They did not fall on the sixth day. They fell on the seventh, after 7 full days of walking that must have looked to everyone watching like nothing was happening. The people who would have quit on day 6 never saw what happened on day 7. But you are not quitting on day 6. You are here. And the 7th day is closer than you have allowed yourself to believe. The darkest hour is always just before the dawn. And my beloved child, you are in that hour right now. Not at the beginning of the dark, at the end of it. The light you have been waiting for is not far away. It is one step ahead of where you are standing. And the step you are considering, the one that turns away from what you have been trusting for, is the one step you cannot afford to take. Do not treat this like another video. What I am telling you right now is the most important thing you will hear today. Your destiny is connected to what I am speaking over your life in this moment. And what comes next, what I am about to release over your life, is the reason I could not let you give up without hearing this first. Now hear what I am releasing over your life. Because the breakthrough I have been building is not theoretical. It is not someday. It is close enough that I interrupted your day specifically to tell you, do not stop now. You have prayed for endurance. I am releasing reward. You have asked for just enough strength to survive one more day. I am preparing a season where survival is no longer the ceiling. You have hoped the waiting would eventually mean something. It does. It means more than you have been able to see from where you are standing. You have been pressing through with worn-down faith, and I'm about to show you what pressed-through faith produces on the other side. You have prayed for change. I am bringing transformation, not a surface adjustment, not a small improvement that fades in a month. A genuine, lasting transformation of the thing that has been the heaviest weight in this season. What looked immovable from where you stood, I have been moving it from where I stand. And the movement you could not see is about to become visible. You have waited for a sign that I had not forgotten you. This word is the sign. This moment is the sign. The fact that this reached you today, in this specific season, at the specific point of exhaustion where you needed it most, is not the algorithm, it is me. And what follows this sign is the thing the sign was pointing toward. In your situation, the one that has not moved, the one you have prayed over so many times that the prayer feels worn smooth like a stone held too long. Watch what happens in the days ahead. What seemed permanently stuck was not permanent. It was waiting for the exact right moment, which is a moment I control, not you. And that moment is approaching. The thing you almost stopped believing could change is about to change. In your body, I am releasing strength for what comes next. The weariness you have been carrying, the deep, accumulated tiredness of a long season of faithful waiting. I am meeting it at the root. What your body needs to step into what is coming, I am providing. The restoration that sleep alone could not deliver because the weight was still there. I am removing the weight. In your finances, I am opening streams of provision that have been closed in this season. The lack you have stared at, the numbers that have not added up, the prayers you have prayed over the gap, I have heard every one of them. What is coming is not a small adjustment. It is a shift, and it will arrive in ways that make it unmistakably clear that it came from me. In your relationships, I am realigning what has been out of place. The right people are being moved toward you. The wrong ones are being moved away, even if the process has felt like loss. What I am building in your relational world in this next season is something that can carry the weight of what I am calling you into. And the people who will walk with you through what comes next are not far. In your calling, the gifts I placed in you are not expiring. They are not being reassigned. They are not waiting for someone more qualified. They are waiting for this moment. The moment the person carrying them finally stops doubting whether they were given to them in the first place. The platform is coming. The open door is coming. And the thing I prepared you to carry into it through this long, hidden, difficult season is exactly what is needed for what comes next. Type, "My breakthrough is coming," in the comments if you believe that what God has promised over your life is still on its way, and you are not giving up before it arrives. In your mind, the exhaustion of sustained hope is lifting. The mental weight of waiting and hoping and waiting again, I am replacing it with a peace that does not depend on resolved circumstances to be real. A peace that arrives before the answer. A quiet, settled assurance that something has shifted even before the evidence catches up. That peace is coming to you now. The people who watched you walk through this season, who saw the prayers and the waiting and the continued faithfulness with no visible return, they are about to witness what faithfulness produces. What they observed as struggle is becoming testimony. What they interpreted as delay is becoming the backstory of a miracle. What they quietly wondered about is about to be answered in a way that leaves no room for another explanation. I told you through my word, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. My beloved child, the night has been long, but morning is coming, and the joy that comes with it will be proportional to the length of the night. You have endured a long night. What is coming is a joy that matches it. I am turning your tears into testimony, your waiting into wonder, your worn-down faith into the most powerful witness of what sustained trust in me produces. What felt like a closed door was my protection. What felt like silence was my preparation. What felt like abandonment was the deepest form of my trust. My belief that you could carry this season and come out of it with something that cannot be built any other way. You will notice the shift beginning in small ways. A peace that arrives one morning before anything has visibly changed. So specific and so unexplainable that you will know it did not come from your own mind. A conversation that opens something that has been closed in you for months. A door that you stopped knocking on beginning to move. A burden that you have been carrying that suddenly feels lighter. Not because the situation resolved, but because something shifted in how you are standing in relation to it. A moment of unexpected clarity on something you have been confused about for a long time. A person stepping into your life who carries exactly what this next season requires. These are not coincidences. These are my fingerprints on your breakthrough. Learn to recognize them. And when you see them, say it out loud. That was God, because it was. And it will keep being me all the way through what is opening. Something is shifting, even as you listen. The breakthrough is not coming. It is already in motion, and you are standing closer to it right now than you have been at any point in this entire season. Do not miss what I am releasing over your life in this moment. This is your appointed time, and you cannot afford to walk away from it. But my child, there is something I need to say about how you carry what I just declared into the days ahead. Because receiving a promise is one thing, holding on until it arrives is another. And holding on well requires releasing some things that have been weighing down the waiting. I do not want your faith to look like white-knuckling your way through one more day. I do not want holding on to feel like gritting your teeth and enduring. What I am inviting you into is not more striving. It is a different kind of trust, a restful, open-handed, expectant trust that knows the breakthrough is coming and stops exhausting itself trying to make it happen. I do not want visits from you only when the weight gets unbearable. I want daily friendship. I want to be the first voice you reach for in the morning, not the last resort when everything else has failed. Talk to me when you wake up. Tell me what you are afraid of before the day gets hold of it. Bring me the small things, the ordinary anxieties, the low-grade worries, the quiet fears that never make it to the big prayers, but live in the background of every day. I am interested in all of it. I am here for all of it. And I have more to say to you in the ordinary moments than you have yet been still enough to hear. Now, before you carry this word into your next day, let some things go. Not because releasing them is easy, but because what is coming cannot be fully received while your hands are still full of what the waiting season required you to hold. Let go of the timeline you have been holding for when this was supposed to arrive. I know the date you had in mind. I know the deadline you quietly set. I know how many times that date has passed and been reset. Let go of the timeline. My timing is not slow, it is precise. And what is precise means it arrives when it is supposed to, not when I am supposed to by the calendar you set. Let go of the need to understand why it has taken this long before you receive what is coming. The understanding will come, but it comes after, not before. What I am asking for right now is trust without full explanation. And I know that is not easy, but it is what this moment requires. Let go of the fear that it is not coming. That quiet, persistent whisper that says, you have been fooling yourself. That the promise was never for you. That the people who receive what you have been waiting for are simply different from you in some fundamental way. That whisper is not wisdom. It is the enemy's most persistent lie. Let it go, not by arguing with it, but by choosing one more time to agree with me instead. Let go of the comparison that has made your waiting feel like a verdict. Someone else's answered prayer is not evidence against yours. Someone else's timeline is not a commentary on yours. I am not working from a limited supply of breakthroughs. What I release for them takes nothing from what I have prepared for you. Let go of the exhaustion of trying to make it happen on your own. The door I am opening is one you cannot force. You can prepare for it. You can position yourself in front of it, but the opening belongs to me. And when I open it, no amount of your effort could have opened it faster, and no amount of your failing could have kept it closed. Write "I hold on" in the comments if you are choosing today. In the exhaustion, in the uncertainty, in the long wait, to hold on one more day and trust what God declared over your life. And hear me when I say this, because it matters for every day between now and the moment the breakthrough arrives. Do not go back to the agreement that it is not coming. Do not return to the language of a person who has given up when I have declared you a person who holds on. Do not pick up the despair you just released. Do not go back to comparing your waiting to someone else's receiving. Do not return to the exhausting self-reliance of someone who does not believe help is on the way. Walk differently after this. Speak differently about your situation after this. Expect differently after this. When someone asks how things are going, tell them that your breakthrough is on its way. Not because the evidence says so yet, because I say so, and I am more reliable than the evidence. You are not the same person who pressed play. Something has shifted in this conversation, in how you see your waiting, in how you understand this season, in how close you now know the breakthrough to be. Honor that shift. Protect it. Do not let the noise of tomorrow steal what I gave you in this moment. My beloved child, I am not finished speaking to you yet. But first, let me give you words to bring before me. Before we move forward together, let us pray. Lord Jesus, I come before you today with a heart that is worn from a long road, a faith that has been stretched further than I knew it could go, and a hope that has been tested in ways I did not expect when this season began. I know you have been with me through every day of this waiting. Every morning, I chose to trust again. Every night, I went to sleep, still carrying what had not yet resolved. Every moment, the evidence contradicted the promise, and I chose the promise anyway. You were there. You saw it. and you counted it. Today, Lord, I bring you the tiredness. I bring you the worn-down faith, the shortened prayers, the questions I stopped asking out loud because I ran out of ways to ask them. I bring you the disappointments I packed away because there was no good place to put them. I bring you all of it. Take it and replace it with what you promised, the peace that passes understanding, the hope that does not disappoint, the strength to hold on one more day. I ask you to let the breakthrough come, the one you have been preparing in the hidden place, the one I have been praying for and waiting for through this long season. Let it come, Lord, in your timing, in your way, with your signature on it so unmistakable that I will know it was you. Let it come soon. Let tomorrow look different from today. I ask you for the strength to hold on through whatever days remain between now and the moment you move. Not my own strength. I have run low on that. Yours. The strength that is made perfect in weakness. The grace that is sufficient even for this. Thank you for not giving up on me in the seasons when I almost gave up on myself. Thank you for this word, for this interruption of my ordinary day that I now understand was not ordinary at all. Thank you for the breakthrough that is already in motion, even before I can see it. I believe you will make a way, even now, even in this, even for me. I hold on, Lord. I hold on to you. In your name I pray. Amen. My beloved child, I am not finished speaking to you yet. There is still more I need you to receive before you close this. That prayer reached me, every word of it, including the words that were more silence than sound, more ache than language, more surrender than sentence. I heard it all, and it did not fall to the ground. It landed in the hands of the God who moves mountains, and who has been waiting for exactly this moment to move on your behalf. Now, hear me for these final moments, because what I want to leave you with is not a feeling that fades by morning. I want to leave you with a knowing, a settled, unshakable knowing that you carry into every day between now and the breakthrough. The breakthrough is not a maybe. It is not a possibility I am considering. It is a certainty I have been building. In the hidden places, in the unseen hours, in the spiritual realm that does not announce itself, but moves with absolute precision. What I have started, I will complete. What I have promised, I will deliver. What you have been waiting for is on its way, and it is moving toward you with the same certainty with which the sun moves toward morning. When you wake up tomorrow, and the first thought tries to return to despair, call my name before you call it despair. When the situation looks the same as it did yesterday, and doubt tries to make that sameness feel like a verdict, remind it that I am working in the unseen before I am visible in the seen. When another day passes without visible change and the temptation to give up returns, remember this moment. Remember what was spoken over your life. Remember that you were told directly by the God who made you. Your breakthrough is closer than you think, and do not let the distance between today and the breakthrough make you forget how close I said it was. When you are weak, I will be strong on your behalf. When you do not know how to pray, I will intercede with words beyond language. When you cannot see the next step, I will illuminate just enough of the path to take it. When the night feels long, I will remind you that morning is coming, not someday, soon. Go forward, hold on, and do not give up. Not today, not tomorrow, not when the breakthrough is this close. Dear friend, if this message touched your heart and you feel led to support this ministry, you can use Super Thanks below. Your support helps us continue sharing messages of prayer, hope, and healing with those who need them most. God bless you abundantly. Type Amen in faith if you are holding on. And share this with someone who needs to hear that their breakthrough is closer than they think today.